You got a raise, maybe $10,000, maybe $20,000, maybe even more. You remember how it felt, the excitement, the relief, the sense that things were finally going to be different. And then 6 months later, nothing actually changed. The stress is still there. The account still feels tight. The breathing room you expected never showed up. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. What happened to you happens to almost everyone. And today, we're going to talk about exactly why. Here's what most people believe about raises. More income equals more financial progress. And on paper, that makes complete sense. If you were making $80,000 and now you're making $95,000, that's $1,250 more every month. That should change things. That should move the needle. But for most people, it doesn't. Economists call it lifestyle creep. And that word creep is important because it doesn't happen all at once. It moves slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. The month you get the raise, nothing changes immediately. You're responsible. You tell yourself you're going to save more, and maybe you do for a little while, but then comes the first upgrade. It feels small. Maybe you switch from a $12 gym membership to a $45 one because you deserve it. Then comes a car. Your old one was fine, but it had 90,000 miles on it. The payments feel manageable now, so you upgrade. Then the apartment lease comes up. The new place is only $400 more a month, and it's so much nicer. You can handle it now. None of these decisions feel reckless. Each one feels completely reasonable. Each one feels earned. But that $1,250 raise, it's gone. Let me show you this in real numbers. Meet Marcus. He's 34, lives in Charlotte, and got promoted last year. His salary jumped from $78,000 to $96,000, an $18,000 raise. He was thrilled. Before the raise, his monthly take-home was about $4,800. Rent, $1,300. Car insurance, $180. Groceries, $450. Utilities, $120. Subscriptions, $85. Everyday spending, $600. Savings, $400. Leftover each month, $1,665. Real margin, real breathing room. After the raise, his monthly take-home increased to $5,850, an extra $1,050 every month. Here's what happened to it. He moved to a nicer apartment. Rent went from $1,300 to $1,850. He leased a new car, $520 per month, new insurance at $240. He started dining out more. Food spending jumped to $750. He upgraded his phone plan, added more subscriptions. Those climbed to $160. Everyday spending crept up to $850. Savings, still around $450. His new leftover amount, just $1,030. Wait, before the raise, Marcus had $1,665 left over. After an $18,000 raise, he had $1,030 left over. He was making more money, but keeping less of it. Marcus isn't unusual. Marcus is the norm. So why does this keep happening? 3 reasons. First, we treat raises as permission. The brain interprets more income as a green light. Permission to upgrade. Permission to reward yourself. Permission to finally buy the things you've been putting off. But permission without a plan is just spending in disguise. Second, the upgrades feel proportional. At $96,000, a $520 car payment feels reasonable. At $78,000, it feels expensive. Same payment, different perception. That's how lifestyle creep works. Not by changing what things cost, by changing what they feel like. Third, we measure progress by income instead of margin. Earning more and keeping more are 2 completely different things. Progress isn't what you make. It's the gap between what you make and what you spend. That gap is margin, and margin is the number that matters. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop treating a raise as a reward. Start treating it as an opportunity. An opportunity to widen the gap, to build real security, to create options you didn't have before. That extra $1,050 Marcus was getting every month. If he had simply maintained his old lifestyle, he'd have an extra $12,600 after 1 year. After 3 years, $37,800. And that's before investment growth, before compounding, before any returns, just money building freedom. Instead, it disappeared into upgrades that now feel normal. And giving those upgrades up would feel like going backward. That's a trap. So, what do you actually do differently? The raise rule. When you get a raise, spend the first 6 months living exactly as you did before. Not forever, just 6 months. Take the extra money and split it like this. 50% goes to savings or investments. 30% goes toward paying off debt. 20% goes toward lifestyle improvements. On Marcus's raise, that means $525 builds wealth. $315 reduces debt. $210 improves lifestyle. It's still an upgrade, just a controlled one. After 6 months, reassess, but protect the savings habit, because once it's built, it compounds, and compounding changes everything. Here's a deeper truth. A raise is not financial progress. A raise is potential. What you do with that potential in the first 90 days determines whether it changes your life. Most people spend it within 60 days and then wonder why nothing changed. The people who build real wealth don't treat raises as rewards. They treat them as leverage. Leverage to build margin, leverage to create security, leverage to create a life where one bad month doesn't put everything at risk. Your raise didn't change your life because it disappeared into a lifestyle that now requires it just to function. But the next raise, you have a choice. Let it disappear into upgrades that feel normal within a few months, or use it to buy something that actually lasts. Options, security, freedom. Most people just don't realize they're making that choice. Next episode, the real cost of looking successful. The car that signals wealth but drains it. The apartment that looks impressive but traps you. The lifestyle that looks successful from the outside while quietly holding you back on the inside. If this episode hit close to home, the next one will hit even closer. If this changed the way you think about money, subscribe to Fundora Finance. No hype, no shortcuts, just clarity. Thanks for watching.